You might be wondering who I am and why I started this YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Tanya Paynter, and I'm a naturopathic doctor who specializes in treating migraines. And I have suffered from them myself for many, many years before I started to really understand the biochemistry behind our migraines. And as I started doing my research into resources for people that suffer with migraines, I started to understand there's not a lot out there besides medication and some of these gadgets and stuff that can be helpful, but obviously aren't treating the problem. And so I wanted to create this YouTube channel as a resource for you to understand that there is more to treating migraines than what you currently know of. We don't just have medication options. We don't just have gadgets and devices and, herbal tricks and supplements and things. All of those can work for some people, and that's fantastic. And if it works for you, then that's great too. But the chances are, if you're watching this video, you haven't found relief yet, and you're researching, always researching, right? And so you are who I have designed this YouTube channel for, so that you actually have some information about some of the things that might be going on for you and for your migraines, and why you're not responding to medication in the same way that a lot of other people do. So, as I said, my name is Dr. Tanya Paynter. I am a naturopathic physician, and I practice out of the state of Washington. And currently I have an online Facebook group called End My Migraines Support Group. So if you are looking for a community of other people just like you who are struggling to figure out what's going on with them, then come over and join us. And basically, I wanted to kind of share a little bit about me and who I am. So if you've watched any of my other videos, you have a little bit of a better sense of what I'm doing, what I'm standing for here. So when I was in high school, I was rear-ended in a car accident. And from that time forward, I started struggling with daily chronic headaches, to the point where when I was in college, they were so bad that I could barely make it through a couple of classes before I had to go back to my dorm and lay down. And I started to have some depression around it, a lot of anxiety, and there just weren't, when I went to the doctors, like, oh, take some naproxen and, here's some pain medications and let's try this, that, and the other thing. And none of it worked. And it wasn't until I went to medical school that I actually understood the biochemical imbalances that were occurring in me that allowed me to figure out exactly why those medications weren't working and what I needed to do to fix myself. And as I started doing that, my headaches miraculously started going away. And now I'm probably 6 years post migraine, was the last migraine I had. And now the only time I get a headache is when I'm sick, or if I haven't been doing the things that I now know that my body needs to stay in balance. And so those are the things that I want to train, or not train, but share with you so that you can start to figure out some of those biochemical imbalances as well. And so here's the good news. Once we understand the biochemistry behind our migraines, we can actually then work on healing those pathways that are out of balance for you. I have done this dozens, if not hundreds of times over the last over the last decade of practicing. And as I specialize in migraines and get to understand more of the biochemistry and more of the science behind it and more about what the research is starting to show, it's such a complex and individual condition. And that's why conventional treatments, we've only got 5 or 6 different types of medications to treat it, right? And there are, at last count, I counted something like 55 or 60 different reasons that we know from a scientific basis contributes to migraines, but not in every person, right? Not in every person. And so we need to figure out our own unique combination of those 60 different things. And I'm not a mathematician, but that's got to be an astronomical number of combinations that can be going on for you. And we can actually use a lot of the information that you've already gathered to help you figure out what's going on. And so that's largely what this channel is going to be doing to help you figure that piece out. There are really easy ways for us to kind of hone in on some of those specific problems for you, and then also some of the things that you can do to help yourself heal from them so that you no longer struggle with these migraines all the time. So if that sounds like an interesting approach to you, if you're interested in the science and what the research has to say, and you're interested in all of those underlying biochemical things Don't worry, I won't get too sciencey on you, although I do love science, so I might get just a little sciencey. But I'm going to share some of that information with you so that you can understand it and it will make sense to you in a way that you can apply it in your life and with your migraine. So if that approach sounds interesting, subscribe to my channel. And as I get going here, I'll be putting out weekly content with that kind of information to help you get to the bottom of what's going on for your migraines. So give me a like, give me a subscribe, and shoot me an email if you have any specific questions. You can also join us over in the Facebook group, and I'm in there quite frequently, so I'm happy to answer any questions for you as well. So until next time,